It's
Now it is. Okay, we're good. Thank you.
sorry about that.
That's all right. I was going to have you deal with a transcript because that was the best I could do. So,
Oh, thank you for your perseverance.
all right.
Continue.
All righty, guys. Sorry about that, Sean.
That's all right. I think I'm about finished anyway.
I think that's amazing. And I love when I first came into the position as district public image chair, I did not expect the level of sophistication that is present in all of the smaller clubs. Like it's easier for you guys in some ways because it's a smaller community and a member of your board is the host of the morning show and general manager of the newspaper. Whereas my club, it's all retired bankers. Like that's all who is in my club.
One
So
thing we tried to reach out, it's sad. I will say this: what's sad is I reached out to all the TV stations in Albuquerque, the newspaper, about our 50th anniversary of our enchilada dinner, which kind of, after 2 years of floods and fires, it's kind of cool. It brings the whole community
yeah,
get
you
together.
think, yeah,
Not one of them would cover it. Not one of them even
no,
contacted me.
they barely cover this stuff in Albuquerque, honestly. Oh, I'm
If
checking
it's
water.
not floods or fires here, they don't want to cover it, and if it's not Albuquerque, they don't want to cover it. So that was kind of disappointing. But we
Yeah.
got some. We did get some from Lubbock and a little from El Paso.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, the Albuquerque people don't, they barely cover this stuff in Albuquerque. Are you guys seeing the right screen now? Okay, cool. Yeah, the people, it's frustrating to me too. We get some little bits and pieces and dribs and drabs, and that's even for Albuquerque stuff. So my next question is, our goal for the next year is to create a lasting impact. And I'm preaching to the choir here because you guys are doing the job. But, the more people who see our projects, the more likely they're going to get involved in our projects. And the world is in such a state right now that it is beholden to every one of us to help in our communities. Because if it isn't us, nothing is going to save us collectively. So in New Mexico, in Texas, anywhere, it's up to us. And Rotary does such a good job of what we do, and nobody knows about it. I talk to people about Rotary all the time, and they're like, well, isn't that like all retired bankers? I'm like, well, yeah, in the case of my club, it kind of is, but we do a lot of good stuff, and anyone can join, and anyone with a good heart and willing hands. And so, what public image is about and why I took on this role is helping to tell that story so more people can get involved and we can have an even bigger impact and have even bigger leverage. And public image is a team sport. I mean, it's you and Gina, but it's also what we can do in the district, and that's what I really want to work on this year is finding a way to amplify everyone together so that we know what is going on, so that things get promoted in advance so that we know about the Bethel Orphan fundraiser in advance of it happening. We may not get a bunch of people coming down from Albuquerque, but if enough people hear of it, then you may get that coverage. You may get people coming down for the weekend. Who knows, right? If we're all using the right branding and the right formatting, and this is like this 10-year-old thing that I refuse to harp on too much, but if we all kind of look the same in what we're doing and use our resources, then people see that and it reverberates. So they see the Rotary logo of a Raton press release and they're like, yeah, I know what this is. But we all need to work together to amplify what that is. And so that's kind of and Gina, if you want to help with the district Facebook, I am happy because we need more people sharing and more people amplifying what's going on. So you guys are all professionals, so you guys can all tell a story. The point of this slide was to get that poor guy who was like your public image chair and has no idea what public image chair is, and and telling people that you don't need to be a professional marketer to tell the story of your club. So there are a ton of resources for you guys, and I'm going to give you the link to that. and kind of go through them here. We are part of a zone. Let me see if I can get into the chat. I don't know where anything is. Like, I'm sorry about the burbles here. My daughter lives with me now because she graduated from college, and everything is sort of in a different spot in my office than it was the last time I was in my office. So everything is kind of like this when I'm kind of going around. All right. So let me share my screen and tell you guys about the district resources. All right, so there is within Rotary Central and the Brand Center. Are you guys all familiar with this? Have you guys? Oh, this is good stuff. This is actually good stuff for both of you guys who have radio contacts because there are PSAs on here too that you can
Hey
just,
Meredith, can you email that document to us that has all the links?
I can.
That
I
would be
just put
good.
it in the chat of the Zoom. Can you guys get it from there? But I will also send it out to you guys individually. Do you guys see it in the chat? Do you see down at the bottom of your Zoom, there's a thing that says um
I got it.
chat, and then in the chat,
Got it.
the link. Okay, good. Because it's just faster because that way you guys can look at it and go through the links as I'm going through the links. And it'll be a little bit faster than my emailing it. But I will email this recording and all of this stuff out to everybody who is a public image chair registered in Club Central, because that's the only way I know that you're there. So if you are listening to this recording and you are not a public image chair, please register in Club Central so that I know who you are and can share things with you. All right, so let me go back to this. All right, so there are promotional materials, and this is a lot of, good stuff. There's graphics, there are logos, there's virtual backgrounds, there are the PSAs. So you can go ahead and see if your local radio stations will run the ads. That works really well if you're the only Rotary Club in town. There's a radio script. So all of that is there for you guys to use. Um, there's any kind of logo that you guys want. So there's the radio. There's, go back to the filters. There are all kinds of templates. If you need a brochure, if you need a banner, if you need anything, it's all kind of here for you. I think there might even be a press release template, but it doesn't sound like you guys really need that. But there's all kinds of, here's the public relations.
Can you show the press release template?
Yeah, I'm getting there. So this is Rotary as a news source, getting started. So this is sort of a PR, a bunch of letters to the editor. And so there's all kinds of stuff here. I don't know why it doesn't have a press release. I'll find customizable news releases. Okay, so here we go. There's the media advisory template, the letter to the editor, news release template for a fundraiser. So it's all very plug and play, and there is a tremendous amount of resources there. So it's pretty basic, Sean, actually. But if you want a nice template, it's there for you. But
Yeah,
if
I was going to say that, one thing you might remind that people are in this position is you want to make your news release as easy as possible for an editor to use
oh yeah,
because they're busy. The more work they have to do, the less
yep.
chances your news release
Oh,
is going
100%.
to get
They're
printed.
filling spaces to sell ads.
So, and
So
if you
yeah.
can, come up with a feature story angle or a good news angle, that's what's
Hmm.
going to get it printed. Not
Yep.
so you don't want to write like you're writing your English paper or something from high school.
Which is why the story part of the district website is formatted like how it is. with some you send me beautiful things that I can just put up. Some clubs I just take it and then massage it into a story to put up on the site. The idea with that is that eventually, once my committee gets a little bigger, we'll be sending those out to different news outlets so that they have some good news to pull from. Because people do want to hear about raising $8,000 for an orphanage. Or my club recently hit a milestone of over 20 years raising $1 million for our fund that we do grants out of the endowment from. But that's a big milestone, even in Albuquerque, and we did get some coverage for that because it was a big deal. So that's the district. And so then there's the downloads are here. Here is the advertising hub, which is the PSAs, all of that. So again, you guys who are working with radio, that's going to be super handy. All the logos are here, all the fonts and colors and all of that. And you can get, if you don't have the Frutiger font, you can grab it um, from here. So then I recommend, if you haven't done this already, that you go to the Rotary, myrotary.org, and they have some classes on how to do public image. I went through them all. They go pretty quick, especially if you kind of know what you're up to already. You can go through them in little bites as you go through your day. So you don't have to spend like 3 hours glued to a computer, but just in between things. It's taking a minute to come up, but these are all here for you to take. And it's taking a second to come up because it's very
Meredith, this is
Mhm.
Connie. Oh, okay. It's coming up. I see that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just taking a second because, but so there's a bunch of stuff. I would probably start with Club Public Image Committee Essentials would be where I would start. But if you were looking at, social media tips or building the public image, like those are also good ones to do. With the branding, the best thing I can tell you is use the templates that Rotary has because it does help us all create an image between all the clubs in the district, and it
Mhm.
helps amplify our visibility for everybody. And so some, you know, there have been public image chairs in the past that's been their main job is policing everybody's stuff. I'm not going to do that, but what I'm going to say is that if we all help each other, we all go further. And one way of all working together is using the branding. So then there are people who can help. This is a great resource. We are part of Zone 26, which plays together and twins with Zone 27. And that basically covers the whole Western United States and Alaska and Hawaii. So that is our public image like region that works with us. They have an expert hub. They have a lot of resources, so I want to show you guys, and I will put this link also. It's on the Google Doc, but zone2627.org. They have a resource guide. They have Canva templates that you can borrow, like for your speaker announcements and for various things. There's social media help. You can get your logos, and there are all kinds of resources. So all of that is there. Plus, they give monthly seminars that you can go ahead and take. And so I will send those announcements out each month as I get them. And so they have a different thing every month. And it's a good way of networking with public image chairs from around the Western United States. And so I would recommend that you go and also subscribe to the PI newsletter. And so that way you'll know what's going on in the zone. Share your story. Well, this is, I think, the site that they have. So we have our story site and they have their story site. Hopefully, eventually the two are going to merge so we can have a subsite that is just for New Mexico and Texas. But for right now, this is the national site. It's pretty cool. And you can also submit stories there. if you would like. And then I'm also pulling the
How
best
did you do that again? Where do we go for that? Zone 26 and
zone
27.
2627.org. And so there's a lot of good. It's also linked through our district website too. So you can get to here and get to all of these resources. If you have like a big deal like enchiladas, I would definitely share your story to the district site. I mean to the zone site because it's a big deal and you want it to get through. I mean, but also share it within New Mexico because then, the people in New Mexico are looking at our district site. One of my goals is to basically create that same thing for our district so that we can get our stories off of the Rotary site and into the world a little bit more. So that's one of the things that I am looking to do. There are resources here. One thing that I would like to point out to you guys is the Expert Hub. The Expert Hub, you can go to Public Image. There are people on here who literally are network broadcast people who can help you with your PSA. They are people who have done podcasts, who have been top podcasters, top 5% in the country podcasts. And so these are people who you can go to for additional public image help, especially, if you're looking to do a new website, for example. You can go, and Eric is a New Mexico person, and so he was the public image chair. Two people before me, and he is a really nice guy, and so you should definitely contact him to help you. So these are all people who are willing to help you with whatever you need. I also am willing to help you with whatever you need. The committee is also willing to help you with whatever you need. So there is no lack of help and support in public image, and please take advantage of everything and all of it there. So that's all of the help you get. Now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the new system that I'm bringing on for public image for this year. So last year we got the stories up on the district website, and Sean is our #1 contributor of that because he understands what we're doing. Yay, Sean. My goal this next year is to get 100 stories on the website by the end of the year from the district. It should not be hard. We have 60 clubs. So if everyone does 2, right? Or the clubs that do more do more. If 10 clubs do 10, it will meet it, but I would like everyone to do it. What we are starting to do is also have a front door. So as soon as you know that you have a project, I am going to every Friday send out a list of all the projects coming up in the district that people want to promote so that it is getting out to everybody, so that if people want to go check out an enchilada dinner in Ruidoso, they can make their hotel reservations and come down there and do that. All of that. So if you have a project that you want to promote, fill this out in advance of the project. So as soon as, and what you want people to do. So I want to know your name, what the project is, what the date is, what the location is, one sentence, what it is, why it matters, what you're raising money for, and what you want people to do. Do you want people to come? Do you want people to volunteer? Do you want people to donate? Do you want people just to know the cool things your club is doing? Like, we want to make it clear what we're asking people to do. Is there anybody we should be tagging in the Facebook post so that they're seeing that this is being promoted on the district level? Would you like it to go in the Yucca? Would you eventually like it on the district story site, in the roundup that we're going to be publishing every Friday? You guys can do, all of you can do your own media advisories, but a club that needs help with that, I am happy to help with that. If you don't know, um, if there are photos, and then what will happen when you submit this is I will get it and I can put it on the thing. I also have it set up so that based on the project date, you'll get a reminder the week after to submit to the story site so that we have it captured as a story. So this is not necessarily for every club meeting and happy hour that your club has. This is for the big projects that you just want a little bit of help promoting and you want people to come from other clubs or be aware that that's going on. Now, this is really new. This is rolling out for the next Rotary year starting in July. But I felt like that was sort of, we did half of the story and we didn't do the full thing. And so this is the other half of it to help us as a district promote the things that are really important. So a lot of it happens on Facebook, but I feel like there's a little bit more that we can do. So we also have the district story site, which Sean is familiar with, I know. Um, but Connie, you can put the stories of what your club is doing let me show you our club site, our district site. Rotary 5520. Okay, so our district site has stories that people submit, and Sean submitted this morning, and I put it up during the other training that we had.
Oh,
It
nice.
is
Okay.
epic, and so we have pictures and we have stories, and the idea is that somebody can come here and see what Rotary is doing, and hopefully want to be a part of that. And so to do that, there's the share your story form. And
Okay.
if you fill this out, probably by the next Saturday, I'll put it up on the site. And my goal is, again, to get 100 stories on the site. This year we got 25 total. Again, I started it in December, so that might be part of it. But my goal is really to get as many stories as possible so people can find something that calls to them and find something that supports them. And then there's the yucca. So if you have a big major project and you have a flyer and you want it promoted, go ahead and send it to Dawn at the yucca. You do have to send it to him and say, please promote this. I did have a club that complained that they were sending their newsletter to him every week and it wasn't ending up in the yucca. There has to be a little bit more intention to that. But if you have something coming up or a story about a member that is amazing in your club who has done cool things, I mean, any of that can go into the yucca, which is a PDF newsletter that goes out once a month from the district that we are looking at reimagining a little bit in this next year to make it a little bit more useful. It's gone back and forth between like a 5-page thing. At one point it was 100 pages because it was everybody's flyers and not everybody went through it every time. So
Well, I actually have a story that I can submit. I'll
cool.
need a little help from the president, but we just wrapped up one of the service projects that we've been doing around Raton for the past year is trash pickup.
Cool.
So we do pop-up trash pickups on a fairly regular basis. And then we just coordinated, and Rotary actually led this effort for a community-wide trash pickup.
Cool.
And we did that, when was that? On the 30th, on May 30th. So it was just wrapped up. So for something like that, besides sending some photos, I can send you the poster that we put up
Cool.
around town,
Okay, so
and then just
yeah, and,
do
and what would be awesome, Connie, is if you went to this form right here that says the district
oh,
story
yes.
site, and there's a
Okay.
Google form and you can just fill it out, it just asks you questions, and then I can
Yes.
get it up
You
on the
showed
district.
earlier.
Yeah,
Okay.
very cool.
All right.
Very, very cool. And then there's the district Facebook page, and people often ask me, how do I get something up on the district Facebook page? The best way to get something up on the district Facebook page is to tag the district, because then I see it. And so if I see it, I'll share it. If I see it, I'll react. Right now, Sylvia DeCasio down in El Paso and I moderate the page. And basically, I'm just going through and scrolling and finding Rotary clubs and sharing things as I go. I'm working on a thing that picks up an RSS feed of the things that different clubs are posting that's going to start auto posting that. But I have to go through and set that up for all 50 clubs, and I haven't had time to do that yet. So that's something that is coming into the future. That little bit of a thing so that things will get, somebody had that set up. It wasn't Eric, the guy before Eric had that set up. It was an auto poster of it just aggregated. So I'm working on that, but I don't know if it's going to happen very soon, but it's on definitely on my
So if
list
you
too.
want to tag it, you tag Rotary 5520. Is that what
Yep.
it is?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Um,
please do that because that way I see it and I can
so
share
if
it.
I so through my business, a lot of times, well, a lot of times I'll put a post or actually a story about, who our public speaker was, or can I tag you on that?
Absolutely. And then it shows up in the
Okay.
feed. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
All right.
I want the Facebook feed. I won't, so if I find it and you don't tag me, I won't share it if it's a club meeting, but if you tag me, then it's all good.
Okay. Okay.
Because I
I
don't
just
want
didn't
the
want to like
whole,
overwhelm you, but I think it's good. I think tagging is very important.
I think it is, and I think it
To-
helps. And that's the other thing about Facebook and some advice I was given at from the zone public image people was that, if we help each other, so if we're commenting on each other's posts, if we're liking, if we're all engaging with as many people as we can, that elevates everybody. And it elevates more than me just randomly sharing, which I'll do, I'll go through and do that. But the best way to get leverage and the best way to really make a difference as a district on Facebook is to like and comment on other clubs' posts. The best way for you to get leverage and visibility on your community, and you guys do a pretty good job of this actually, because I've seen your feed, is liking and commenting on other community groups' posts. So people that you're supporting, people that you give grants to, people that you do service projects with, make sure that you're engaging with their social media too, because then their followers see that and they'll come check you out. So that's kind of like how social media can work pretty well for Rotary clubs in that way. So that is my big presentation to you guys. So now we have about 15 minutes left, and I kind of want to have a conversation about what you need, how I can help, how you can help, all of that, just so that we can help build something really great in this next
Hey, Meredith,
every year.
I had one request. Can you show how we get to that share your story for the zone
Mhm.
website
Yes.
again? Because I can't find it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to kind of back through it and then I will get you a
All
link.
right.
Oh,
And you know
and
what?
is that
I will actually put it on your Google Sheet
That would be
because
fantastic.
that way it'll be there. So let me public image, share
and
your.
Meredith, is that website address zone2627.org?
Yes. So
Okay, great.
go here. And then it just, I think, find your place. I want to see where oh, share a story. Okay. I'm going to get you guys all the way there, I think. Oh, it's their site's kind of broken. Okay. That's fun. Okay. So it's unitingthroughservice.com/start is the page that I get where it says share your story. Sends you there. And then when
There's
I
not a link. There's not something to click on from the main page.
Yeah, it's from the main page. There's this big banner up top that says share your story.
Can you
And
share your screen again? Because we're
yeah,
just seeing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't see that.
Okay, hold on. Because it's
Can you go back to the very
yeah, all right, so
beginning?
here we are. You click on
Oh,
this banner that says share your story.
Wait, how'd you get to that page?
Okay, so this page is, and I'm gonna put this in the Google Doc for you guys.
okay.
And I'll show you how to get to it from the zone in just a second. So I'll put it here so you guys have it. District.
Mm.
Do.
It's in that Google Doc. Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm going to put it in this Google Doc. Share your
All right. Okay.
story zone. Okay, so that's there. If you want, so to get there, you would go to the zone 2627. You'd go to public image, right? You go to share your story.
Okay.
And then it brings you to here and it says share a story, but then that doesn't seem to be working for me right now. So what I would do if you wanted to share a story and couldn't get that to work is I would just send them a message and they will get the information from you. Because I don't know why this link isn't working because it's not my website. But it's a cool thing. And again, I want to create something like this for us too.
Well,
That's
it did
more
come up earlier when you showed us the first time.
a
That's
form.
yeah. The form did come up. Yeah.
I shared you our form.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
I
All
think
right.
your
So,
form
so
is
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
What?
I think your form is better. It
Well, I
works.
do think my form is better, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. But again, I would just message Caleb, who is the guy who puts this together, and he will gladly grab the information from you, no problem. So yeah. And I would love to see more District 5520 stories up there anyway. Um, and the reason why there haven't been is I just haven't promoted it very much because they just started it. So, and it's more than just community, like you can do membership and all kinds of different things. And so that's a good way to get some wider publicity for what you're doing. And eventually, I think they said that they were going to give us our own website that was just a search for our projects that we could publicize. So that would be great if that happens.
Well, I have to tell you and share with you that when I went into the breakout to choose a breakout, I wasn't really that excited about president or president-elect. So
Yeah, are
I
you
saw,
president or president-elect?
no, I'm not currently.
Okay,
So, but I'm being groomed for it.
all righty.
So I saw the public image breakout and I thought, oh, cool. That's just right up my alley. And I really didn't know that we had a public image chair like yourself or all of this. So this is just
Good.
amazing.
I'm glad.
And I'm definitely going to, talk to the board because I'm on the board about establishing a public image chair.
That would be amazing. We have 16 in 60 clubs. So
Mm-hmm.
and that was part of that whole earlier part of my presentation that you don't, I mean, you are a marketing professional, but you don't have to be a marketing professional to do a good job of public image for your clubs. And a lot of people think that you have to be a professional. And as long as you can tell the story and you're willing to get it out there, there are plenty of resources that we have that can help you amplify that and help you get it out. I mean, there's the international, the zone, the district. I mean, there's quite a lot of support there for you to really tell your story on a bigger stage. So
And how long has it been since the district has been working on this project? When was it initiated and executed?
so there have been public image chairs for time immemorial, as far as I can tell. I've been a
Right.
member for 8 years. The story thing is new for this year. Like this Rotary year, Tom's Rotary year. Because I was public image chair and I went to the zone training and they were doing the stories, I was like, well, we'll do stories because I think
Mhm.
that's great. And so that's how that came into effect. In the past, though, the public image chair has been very much involved in brand police. And I am not going to be brand police, although you're going to
Mhm.
do better if you use our templates because then we can
Mhm.
help you promote things more. And I
Mhm.
feel like all that needs to be said about that rather than fighting with whatever,
You're
it's like,
using the right logo on your
are you using the
letterhead.
right logo and does it look professional enough? I'm like, I would rather you tell the story. I would rather you send a bad press release because that doesn't have as much chance of getting picked up, but it might. And if you don't send anything, then nothing, nothing will get out. So that's, what I'm about.
Okay.
So
I was gonna say, Meredith, if you guys ever need any like news writing and feature writing notes to send out to all of your potential public image chairs, I have a lot of that from when I was a journalism teacher, and I think that would help a lot of
I
people and
think
kind
it
of
would, and that's
make this
why
easier.
I want to get you on my committee. Because that would be a great role for you to have is to do a training on that and be a resource for people who need help or even just need you to like eyeball it
Hmm.
over and make sure
Okay.
that what they're writing makes sense. So I need to
Probably
set
do
up.
a training. I might be open to that as well. I haven't taught in a while, but yeah, I think I could do that. It's
Yeah, I
basically the
mean,
same thing I would teach high school/college students about, news writing, inverted pyramid, and feature writing and stuff
all
like
of
that.
that. And people don't, although I was super surprised, I put out a Google alert for Rotary and New Mexico and Texas, and there are probably a dozen clubs that do pretty well in the district. They get the coverage, they're sending the releases, I'm seeing it. I also get a lot of Rotary drill stuff, which is kind of funny. You know, but yeah, I think that would be awesome. And then we have Andy down in El Paso who has a big digital marketing company who does video production and things like that, which is another thing that people are interested in learning more about how to do well. But I think people forget about the power of the press release. I sent one for our grant recipients, and I've gotten two articles, like two interviews for two articles based on that. So that was pretty cool. And Albuquerque is just tough. It's a hard market to get a lot of traction in, and I don't really know why. I had better luck in DC. I got coverage for everything when I was recycling public image office or affairs person in Fairfax County. I could get anything in any paper all the time. So
So I got a question for you. Are we on Instagram or TikTok? I mean, and I'm
okay,
not on
so
TikTok.
right now, if you're volunteering, I'm happy for it. We are on Facebook and we're on
Okay.
LinkedIn. And that is purely because we had a strong um, presence on Facebook coming in. And professionally, I help people with LinkedIn. So that was an easy thing for me to pick up and kind of start doing. I would love to see us on TikTok. Jeff would love to be on TikTok. He's willing to do that. I mean, and that's part of it is you have to have your president or governor be willing. Tom was willing, but his videos kind of were a little hostage because I give him a script and he'd read it. And it looked like that.
Gina, I think you should definitely do that for our club.
Hmm.
Well, I think, I think one of the things we have to think about is one of our goals to reach a different generation.
Hmm.
Because at some point in time, if we don't reach the younger generation, we will become extinct.
And
So,
Facebook is grandparents and people who are trying to send things to grandparents.
right. Well, and then there's groups like I have an esthetician group that
Hmm.
I'm in, and but they're in the group. I don't really think they do a lot of Facebook. Well, I'm just assuming, but anyways, I know Instagram is huge for my community, but I know TikTok is
That would be
huge
great.
as well. I've never been on TikTok, and I'm kind of afraid to, but
I'm a little afraid of TikTok. Well,
I'm
it's
Me
the
afraid
same
too.
I'm
thing
gonna
as
have
Facebook
to.
and Instagram Reels. It's the same thing, I think.
Well,
I
I think
know,
once
but
we get our website set up too, is we can run an Instagram feed on it and
yeah,
TikTok videos. I think that would be fantastic, and then it all kind of circulates
Hmm.
among everything. It's a
right.
bigger. You want a bigger footprint, and I think that would be a great idea.
So, Shauna, are you talking about a separate website from My Rotary or uh,
We're yeah,
the
we had one we use Club
Club
Runner, and that website that they set up kind of is lame. It's dull and boring, and so we're going to try to set up
Runner?
just our own one where you can tell somebody, hey, go to rotaryclubofruidoso.com, and it'll have our about us, how to join, news. We can put our news items, our Instagram feed. You know, we may want to get on Twitter, put our Twitter feed, and then when you post your story to Facebook, you can post it right from there, and it looks cleaner, and you get people linking back to that. Oh, they're on. Then they go to your website, and you go, oh, they're on Instagram. I'll follow them on Instagram.
Mhm.
You get this cyclone of everything connecting all the way, around.
Yeah, and check out though, Sean, the Nova, the new club runner.
Yeah, we're on that now too.
You can do more with it than just the basic.
Yeah, but you don't have like just something simple, RotaryClubofRuidoso.com.
Yeah. No, I
That's
get
what we're
I
gonna
get it
go.
because I'm trying to do a separate district site too that's not on Club
Yeah,
Runner.
that's what we just started, and I'm kind of working on. It's kind of a long-term project, but
Yeah.
something easy on WordPress where you can
Yep.
just add a news story, add a, whatever. So that's what I'm working on currently. It's hard to get all this stuff in when you have a full-time job. I'm
No,
sure you guys
believe
know that.
me, I feel like I have, a lot to do. So I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm going to turn off the recording just so that it